We made it this far, D-Roy. It is our 100th episode special coming up very, very soon.
We're excited because we're excited. We want to share with the listeners, and man, let's celebrate.
So we've been doing a lot of this card talk, but yeah, I figure there's no better way to give away one of our Michael Jordan PSA 10 population of 3 in the entire world giveaway. So
wait. There's 3 of these cards in the world.
In the world.
And you're just going to give it away.
I'm giving away to our special eBay Pirate listeners. In order to qualify, we need you to go on and help us out, get the word out there. Give us a review on Apple, on iTunes, on Pod Scratcher, all of these outlets. We need your help.
Wherever you're at, give us a review.
Again, they said shoot us a message, let us know, hey, I reviewed it, and we will get you in the drawing for it. I said Michael Jordan, PSA 10, 3 in the world, special oversized card. It will make your
Am I eligible?
No, you are not eligible.
That's some good booty.
That's a good card. Like I says, I don't quite know the value because there's only 3 in the world, but I figure our listeners are deserving of it.
There's only 3 that exist. It's a PSA 10. Michael Jordan, what year was that?
1997.
Graded a 10.
And like I said, the only thing you have to do is be our eBay Pirate, our listeners. You're helping our show grow. Get on there, give us a review on anywhere you listen to our podcast. Let us know about it. Send us a message, and you will be entered to win this amazing card.
But they have to pay for shipping.
No, we're giving it all away, man. We'll even give them a card, a little sticker too. We're going all out. This is 100 episodes. No one thought it would go with this sport. Not your wife, not my wife. No one thought we'd get this.
Not our listeners' wives have been stuck listening to us for the last 100 episodes.
We appreciate it. We've made it 100 episodes. It's been great. Numbers are phenomenal. They're great. They're wonderful. Never been better. We appreciate you listening to it. Get in there. Get your chance. We want to see this special piece of memorabilia in your household.
Here comes the money. Here comes the money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money. Money, 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 money.
It's another time of the week. DeathPiles and Taxes, episode number 97.
It's your host, Turd Ferguson and Louis Germino.
Okay.
I thought we'd mix it up for him.
I just give a number because we're getting close to that hundy.
We were getting close, and Adam didn't like that.
Oh, I didn't care. That was just fine. I was just messing with the volume over there.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going to make me say that we're not Turd Ferguson and Louis Germino.
I don't even know what that means, but you always...
That's our name, man. We always just come in and we get the same intro. I wanted to let them know that this is live. Anything can happen on the fly.
I don't know if we're going to be selling any $1,700 cards.
That hasn't happened yet.
You're right. That hasn't happened.
That hasn't happened yet.
Potentially that might happen here in about 3 episodes.
May or may not. Hard to predict something like that, Adam.
Well, it's been a great week. We've done a few things. I want to present you with something. This was supposed to happen a while ago, and it slipped my mind.
Well, hold on. I'm a professional, so I had my phone on mute. Just made a $25 sell.
Cha-ching!
Cha-ching. Should have had that on.
That's always good.
Okay. What happened?
Like I said, I've got something I need to present to you.
No. Okay.
This is something that was supposed to happen on our special hundy, but somehow it didn't happen.
Well, we haven't had our honey episode yet. You keep talking like we've done this thing.
That's true. So, I'm just going to present something to Derek. I know I'm learning a few things. I still need to send it off to Beckett to get it authenticated. But there you go, buddy.
Oh, what we got here?
You'll have to tell the listeners.
We got the Meeting of the Mouth, starring Sean Hannity, Neil Bortz, is that his name? Clark Howard, Alan Combs. Wow, and they're signed.
Yes.
Look at that. AM 580 WDBO.
That was quite the lineup back in the day.
I didn't even know that Clark was on with those guys.
Well, there you go. There was 2 separate type of signatures, and the one that both of them had your boy. Well, this one did. The other one didn't have Clark Howard. That's really.
Oh yeah, Clark's my man. Yeah,
Clark was your man. The other one had.
They got Paul Harvey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was quite the lineup.
So basically, it's just this radio they had these people on the shows. They had, not all together, I thought they did it all
It
together,
was the radio card.
in Orlando, Florida. Well,
It was the lineup on that radio station.
man, you're good. You're good, man. I got nothing.
I know.
And here I am, I'm just gonna make fun of you. Thank you.
I know. That's one of those special things that I know Clark Howard is near and dear. He's the one that's really put you on the financial
If it
track.
wasn't for Clark Howard, I would never retire. I can tell you that right now. I'd be working until I was dead.
It's funny you say that. There are several different viewpoints on how and when to retire. You're on your track, man. You've got some diversified. You've got some stocks. You've got your eBay. You've got your 9 to 5. Your wife's getting closer to. She gets that
Gambling winnings.
She hits that 20-year mark. She'll hit that pension. I mean, you guys are doing well.
We've had a few conversations, and I know some people are big on the Ramsey. Is that it?
Yes, yeah, Dave Ramsey.
I want to say Gordon. That's the chef.
Yes.
That's Dave Ramsey. I'm big on Clark Howard. There's Susie out there. Whoever does it for you.
Yeah.
I mean, as long as you're doing it, that's the important part.
That is. Whatever's doing it for you, you do it with them.
Do it with them if they'll do it with you. Words to live by, kids.
That sounds like a motto.
Well, Adam, I don't want to rush anything.
Okay.
I'm overwhelmed with I am. That's awesome. Thank you, man. Gratitude and joy.
Not a lot of Clark Howard signed memorabilia.
There's not. I got some of his books that were signed,
Not
but
a
not
lot.
a lot. Old Clark's he's a good man and probably doesn't sign a whole lot because he doesn't have to.
So I wanted to get that encased with the other thing that I have. So we're going to send those off, but I just want to make sure we gave it to you here at this point.
I think the only one that didn't sign that was the Sean Hannity, so I'm good.
Well,
Which I've also went and saw him perform live once.
There you
That's
go.
a story for another podcast.
that one of those other 4 that you're going to be starting when you hit your millionaire.
Man, I got one every week. If this all goes right, if we can line this up, I'll just every day I'll just have a new episode with a new co-host, new show. I'm keeping at him. We're the OGs. Don't worry, people.
He's always taking new applications, always looking for new talent. So
Don't you think though? Without getting too much detail, those would be good shows. Each and every one of those
they would be quite good shows.
on the Derek Radio Network. Well, there's this rumor going around. I have to ask you about it.
Oh boy.
It's eBay related. Apparently, eBay's been sending out $25 off coupons to everyone but me.
Apparently, I read something. You have to be old to get it.
No, because
That's what somebody posted. You had to be old if you got one.
old like in eBay or old as in age.
Age.
Nope.
Oh, I don't know. It's just
'Cause
what
I know
it said.
people are our age, and we're people, so we should still be getting them. I know a guy that's used his to buy a Ric Flair card this week,
Oh,
and that wasn't me.
and by know a guy, a close personal friend, huh?
Yeah, may or may not be appearing on the 100th episode and having a good night.
Man, when did Scott get into those cards?
Nah, not soon enough. I can't believe he hasn't got into cards a little bit.
You know, I don't know. We're that's the nice part. Is we document this stuff. We talk about this. I am going to bring up 2 things because I had a couple things that happened this week. It was the 1-year anniversary that your buddy Gary Vee started following you. That came up in my following, pushed that along.
I saw that.
You are the man. You are the thing. So that's kind of why we really started this. Big fan of Gary Vaynerchuk. You know, I listened to his content for quite a while. Funny thing is what he always says, like, I want you to listen to my content, but then I don't want you to listen to it, because if you don't listen to it, you don't need to be motivated. Don't listen to a lot of content anymore, because I don't need to be a whole lot of motivated.
You got enough pokers in the fire, do you?
I got a lot of pokers in the fire. I mean, I like his sports card content, but I brought it up. You said something on Twitter. He started following you. I got very upset,
Jealous.
jealous. Mike Painter, he's got same thing, couple pictures with, a presidential person's son, some of those type of things. So, like, it's like, oh, you guys are getting these big boys.
That's Jimmy Carter's boy.
Yes. That's Stu Reagan. And so in the meantime, last week I got super excited. I was at this conference. It was, I don't know, pretty dry. Got in the conference and I'm messing around on my phone while these speakers there, and Gary Vee started following me on LinkedIn.
There you go.
And then I started looking. And
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
why does Gary Vee only have 42 followers?
Oh, it might not have been the Gary Vee.
And then I got looking even more, and I'm like, that is not the Gary Vee. He doesn't have icons next to his companies he works for. Little copy and paste. So I got catfished.
You got a fake Gary after you.
I got a fake Gary, and
Did he ask you to send you some money or some pictures of you?
both. And I gladly did. And then I'm typing this message saying, hey, Gary, thanks for following me. And then I look at it, I'm like, oh, man. Because then I went onto his Twitter, and I'm like, it's not the same thing. And I wrote on his Twitter, I'm like, hey, Gary, you've been hacked. Nice to be friends, but I know it's not you, but I'd like to be your, follow me on.
Well, you could be my friend for letting you know all this.
That's right. So that coming went real quick, and by the conference, the 20 minutes it was going on, that account was already deleted. So
Well, I mean, yeah, you're friends with me, and the way you're doing cards, pretty soon, I'm pretty sure if you play your cards just right, somebody's going to be following you. Well, let's talk about Tony Hawk. I'm more jealous of that with your wheelchair company.
that is a true and tried story. That did happen. That exactly did happen. Tony Hawk did share one of our videos. This
Adam, how many downloads did you get off that Tony Hawk
we are
Instagram video?
pushing 1 million on the Instagram. I think we're about 965,000 and about 350,000 on Facebook. So yeah, Tony Hawk saw one of our videos. It's Sam in the wheelchair. They've been going to a lot of skate parks, and we've been getting ready. We want to do a face-off with them, and somebody passed it along to him, and he says, it was actually kind of interesting because somebody said it's a really bad pun. They says, you guys look great. I don't stand a chance against you.
Oh,
I didn't say it. It was somebody down there. It was actually interesting. Social media you can't do a whole lot with. I mean, there's trolls, there's awful people everywhere.
Oh, there are. Under every rock, there's a troll on social media.
There's were thousands of comments and these things, but 98% of them weren't good.
Yeah, you gotta have that thick skin. There's always gonna be the people, and you can't let them ruin. Like you're saying, you can't do a lot, but you can't do a lot. It's a weird thing where sometimes it might turn into a few million videos seeing that, or it could be nothing. Who knows?
So we went from we went from a pretty good following to increase by about 2,500 people in a day or two. Hit Reddit again. We're pretty hot again on Reddit again today. So you never know. And like I said, the nice part is this is what I tell everybody. You know what? There's people, and man, you have hit some buttons on those lids. Oh, we'll get into that. Wow, you hit some buttons on that. But before I hit the canning, apocalypse.
Controversy.
This is what I tell everybody, and I don't have a problem saying it. I have a company, we make off-road wheelchairs, we help people out. It's the most amazing product thing that I've ever been a part of. Sam came in, talked to us on Friday, and told me how great it was. It really helped him out in this time in his life. But if you don't like what we're doing, if you don't like the work that we're doing, you're going to hell anyway, so I really don't care what you think.
Well,
That's what I meant on that.
well, with that being said, I mean, you are taking people's money, you're making a profit, which is what business is. Going back to the original thing, check your eBay messages, see if you have that $25 gift card, certificate, coupon code. And it's $25, not just store credit where you get the supplies, which you get quarterly if you have a store, but this is for anything out on eBay. So if you have that credit, you come and shop at me in Adam's store, we'll hook you up. Everyone's welcome. I think the only caveat is you have to spend $25 or $26. It has to be like $1 over 25, so you can't just get free. But I think that's good. So hopefully that works out. Hopefully everyone gets distributed. And Adam, we need on one of those wheelchairs. I know I said it to you in a text, but we need to get DeathPiles and Taxes podcast on those things. If you're going to get a few million views, we could stand to have a few more listeners. I know we're getting more listeners. I know we're doing good. I know numbers are picking up. We're having this big 100th episode anniversary. But let's get some embroidery on there. We can sponsor the Tony Hawk competition.
Well, now that you're bringing in money on a few extra things, Mr. Paid Podcaster.
Hey, that's all kayfabe.
Well, I'm just saying you're getting quite well at your job in other aspects of your life. That
We've had a good year, despite everything that's happened with the podcast and with life and everything.
It's all about adjusting because this COVID really kicked the crap out of a lot of people. But it's not like life, stops. There is no shut down the economy.
There's no pause button. Funny you're saying that. Oh, we have a special guest coming on in the next half. I was talking to him just a few minutes ago before we came on, make sure everything was all right. He is in lockdown potentially until May, where they live.
You gotta be kidding.
Nope.
Where is he in? China?
Seattle.
Might as well be in China.
Well, I'll let you talk to him about that, but I won't be up to visit anytime soon.
I don't think any of us will.
But yeah, so I got some bowl. Where do you want to go?
We steered off a little bit, but I got to bring it back to the canning controversy.
Let's hit it.
So Derek has said this, Bolo, last couple weeks, canning lids are hot. And if you didn't know, Derek's in a little...
Canning supplies.
Yes.
I just sell the lids because they don't break and they're cheap and they're light.
And Derek, when he went out, he said he did the capitalist thing. He found some things, he bought them, now he's selling them.
I cleared them shelves.
He knew it was a
little retail arbitrage, and I knew I'm out of them.
Yeah, are you really?
Oh yeah, I'm out.
I asked you on Sunday if you had 3. I needed 3 for my mother-in-law.
I got some wide mouth. Just want wide mouth?
No, I need regulars.
They're gone, man. They're gone.
See, this is the controversy. I know. One of the friends of the program, his sister-in-law, thought that he was an awful person because Derek, was doing these kind of things, and Pelican defended him. He defended his good name and honor, and it brought up some controversy. Same thing might have happened with another gentleman that I know. His sister-in-law, there was another. I don't want to get into too many details, but the same thing happened. I believe the world was slimy, and I said absolutely not. And then my cousin on she posted the same thing, that she's looking for canning jars. So
well, here's the controversy. Here's how I see it. I could be wrong, but I probably am not. I've went through enough Christmas battles. This canning ain't nothing compared to the kids' Christmases that you're in or whatever. If you buy a house, Adam, and you buy it at one point, and you want to sell it a couple of years later, you sell it for the same price that you bought it for.
That is absolutely not true.
And you either sell it for less or more, depending on what the market's done. You buy a car, you drive it off the lot, it depreciates. You might save it for 50 years. It might reappreciate, or it might go up in value. It's the same principles. I know resellers, we usually get painted with this broad brush, and we're just
you're awful human beings.
Awful scumbags, but it's the same thing. It's supply and demand.
Why don't they get mad at the ball company or Walmart saying, why didn't you see this and buy more of it? Why is it your fault?
Well, the weird thing to me is that Walmart or the ball company are companies, so companies are fine to do that. They can gouge. The term price gouge makes me laugh, and I had a little interaction with a lady. I think we talked about it last week a little bit, or on one of the shows. And I told her, I said, if you think I'm price gouging because I'm breaking the law and all that, call the cops. I'm not scared. I mean, let's have a visit.
Yeah.
This isn't essential to life. It's essential to your making your salsa, but you should have thought about that before you started stewing the tomatoes.
Yes.
Or canning the jalapenos or whatever. Basically, it's supply and demand. The store didn't have a limit on them, and you can go buy them. You could have thought ahead of time and said, wait a minute, everybody I know is canning or planting a garden this year. They're going to have to harvest at some point. People that haven't done this for generations. Things like that. You could be watching trends, or you could have went to the store and cleared the shelves yourself. It's a free economy, free society, supply and demand, my friend.
I believe the motto is, your lack of preparation doesn't constitute an emergency for me.
The problem is that people think, except for me. So it's like, good for you unless it affects me.
Yes.
And then all of a sudden you're awful.
Yes, you are.
And the weird thing is, I was buying them for $3.99, $2.99, somewhere in that range, give or take where you find them at. Maybe as much as $5.99. I'm only selling them for $9.99.
Yeah.
Or $10, which is not that much money really. It's a quick flip. It adds up fast. That's why I'm doing it.
Because you're selling 5, 10 at a time.
I want to clear house. I don't want to be held in these because next year it's not going to be the same thing.
Correct.
In my opinion. So I'm trying to do that quick flip, the fast nickel. However, there's people doing it for $20 or whatever. So, in my opinion, you're gonna lose it over $7 or $5.
Yes.
Because
it affects them.
But that's not my problem.
I get it.
Christmas comes the same day every year.
I know.
If you don't buy your kid the toy in September that they're gonna want in December, and I have it for sale, that's not gonna affect me.
Exactly.
I'm not ruining your kid's Christmas. You are.
We've been talking
I'm
about...
not ruining your student tomatoes. Oh my Lord! They're coming to get me, Adam. I told them to call, and they've done it.
Derek is being arrested for price gouging.
The funny thing though is, so this lady, we've been going back and forth on her. She put it on her personal Facebook page of her business, and so the last one I put, I'm like, this is your personal business page. You really want to do this? You really want to keep this going? Because If anyone wants to know what that is, contact me. I'll give you it off the air. I can't put it on the air because I don't need to be sued, as Adam's told me.
Our attorneys will not allow that.
However, it is quite entertaining. Adam, I've won it all in twice in a week.
Oh, boy.
We talk about this a lot when it comes to reselling.
You can't be any more all in than I am on something.
I know you're all into. First off, I happened to be going over to Walmart. We had a family event coming up. We're gonna have a little barbecue for my parents' 40th anniversary.
Ooh,
We finally celebrated. It was from March. We celebrated it this week.
Okay.
So I had to go over to the Walmart to get some supplies to bring because it's kind of a potluck type thing. So I go into the Walmart, and what do I see? But the lady is actually stocking the shelf of the cards.
I heard this.
The Walmart, for those of you that are in the card game or whatever, you go to look at cards, it's almost a joke. They're always gone.
He's talking not Christmas cards.
Oh, sorry.
Not birthday
Sports
cards.
cards.
Like when you were 15, 10 years old, like sports cards.
40 years old.
Baseball cards, basketball cards.
And so I see these, and I grab a couple of the hotter ones, and I put them, and the lady kind of looks up to me, and I said, you got basketball cards? And she goes, yeah, they're out the second I put them out.
Yes.
Stocking the shelf. I said, yeah, I've noticed that. And I didn't want to just clear the shelf in front of her because she's putting them all nice and bringing them out and doing stuff. And I thought she might say, sir, you can't do that. Sir, there's a limit. Sir, there's kids here. I don't know, or just give me a dirty look. And so I went to make my lap around the store, and I was going to come back when she was gone.
A nervous Nelly.
I was more nervous for that than, if that cop was behind me pulling me over right now.
Then his wedding day.
So I went over to the toy section because I'm trying to scout for the upcoming holiday season, see what's going, what I think might be hot or not.
Okay.
I'm not going to say anything that I bought because we're still testing things out yet. Don't want to give out any big secrets. Then I went and grabbed the food items that I needed, and then I got back up to see if that lady was gone, and she was just leaving, but there's people there. I'm like, oh man, we're going to have a Black Friday. We're going to fight. I'm not going to be able to get everything. I'm just going to have to grab what I can, and,
Derek's eye gouging, he's back.
I'm just like, oh, this is going to get bad. I'm going to have to choke hold this guy here, and this little kid's going to get pushed down. I'm probably going to get banned from Walmart.
Somebody's going to get suplexed in the smoking section.
I'd already texted my wife because she's waiting in the car for me. I'm like, it's going to be a little while. They're stocking the cards. P.S. I'm buying all of them I can get. It's going to be a lot of cards.
A lot of cards. A lot.
And so I don't think she knows what that meant. And so the lady and the kid kind of looked at me, and I said, oh, go ahead, whatever. Like, they're not going to buy them all. And they're like, oh, we're just after these Pokemons here. And I said, oh. And so then I just am grabbing boxes and throwing them in my cart. And then I just grabbed the whole tray. And they're looking at me like, oh, this man's went crazy. What's wrong with this man? And these are like $20. They're called blaster packs.
There was approximately a mortgage spent on cards at Walmart.
There was over 20 some odd of these things. They go for about $20 each.
Uh-huh.
And so then I'm like, okay, I need to go to the register to check out because I'm not going to self-check that many out. And so I'm like, okay, which register person is going to care less about this?
Least amount of questions.
Found the guy, and he just scans. But then when he told me the total, he just kind of looked at me like blankly, like maybe he made a mistake.
Really?
Like, is that right? And I just put in the card, then come out with my bags. And my wife's like, how many of those did you buy? And I said, well, that's 20, whatever. And she's like, what? And so I hurried and went to the solds completes, and I showed her, okay, this is what they are. This is what we paid for them. This is what they're selling for right now. Before I had my big epiphany of price gouging more and waiting until Christmas, pricing them even higher.
There you go.
So I priced them even higher. I'm willing to sit on them and wait because basketball cards, if anyone of you have tried to buy them, knows they're almost impossible to get.
And if I think I remember it, Christmas Day is going to be the restart for the next season, so that's pretty good time.
Kids are going to want them for Christmas. They're hard to get.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to be the scumbag, but that's my play.
That's your MO.
I left some for Adam. I left some football.
So
And
I will be really cool. I mean, I found some other cool Facebook groups, some very, very card heavy. But as soon as Derek sent me that picture, I told my wife, and she's like, "Let's go.
Get in the car.
Let's get in the car. Let's go see what we can find."
I might have learned some information. I'll tell you off the air about when they restock.
Okay, well,
Which these are trade secrets.
If you want to know them, you can message us and
Oh, yeah.
we'll share the
Oh yeah, if you hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram at DRoy Everett or DeathPiles and Taxes, and you want to chat, I'm cool. We'll talk. I'll tell you all my secrets. I'm good with that.
We'll give you some good insider information. We just don't want to, as our listenership grows, if you take the extra effort to content, we will give.
We're trying to boost some numbers. We give you a lot of free content here. We're telling you that what we're buying usually, what's going on, what we're selling. But sometimes there's just a little extra secret sauce that maybe, you have to reach out. There's been a few people that have.
I've been sharing some good, like I said, soccer cards. I've got the numbers to prove it.
Or if you want to talk like hot Christmas toys or whatever, I'll tell you my ideas. You tell me your ideas. I'm down. But yeah, we can't put that on the air because then we got thousands of people that are going for the same thing and flooding our market.
That's right. We don't need
Heaven forbid.
Like when we spoke up at eBay and you were talking about.
I got told to shut up.
I know what.
It was the instant tea.
Oh yeah, the discontinued Lipton iced tea, and someone in the back. Hey, shut up!
The second thing I went all in on, Adam, was wrestling cards. So these wrestling cards have just been. This has been my niche.
This has been your thing since you were 15 years old.
But cards have been recently. It's been my thing since then, but since I was 15, since I was like 8. since I could give you an exact date probably, but
what is it? Royal Rumble 3.
It was Hulk Hogan versus Andre the Giant.
Yes,
WrestleMania.
That was WrestleMania 3.
But so they came out with some new cool cards and everything, and we talked about it with Painter on this secret episode that hasn't came out yet that we know all about somehow. But I found this guy that's selling a bunch of signed cards, but they're by a lot of people that are deceased.
Ooh.
So
the DeathPiles of the DeathPiles.
DeathPiles of Taxes. So I went ahead and I saw that he was. I bought from him before, but when I bid, I kind of was getting in bidding wars. And so now that I've got my new sniper tool, I set my sniper tool the other day for just a crazy amount of auctions. So much so that when I'm starting to see them go cha-ching and I'm bidding on things, I'm thinking,
I got to pay for all that.
I just went all in on those basketball cards. So again, I'm like, okay, I'm going to be paying attention to this. That's what I told Holly. I was like, hey, I'm going to be plugged into this for the next couple hours. I'm going to see what's doing. I've already got my max bid in there, but I need to be following to see if I'm winning and kind of doing the...
Yeah, so you know what you can and cannot continue to buy.
Kind of, except for I already had them preset, so I'd have to went downstairs and erase them, and they were like... So it was like maybe about a 2-hour interval, but every 5 to 10 minutes an auction ending, so it was like next one. Anyways, I got some really, really, really good cards that I'm just going to send in to PSA to have autograph authenticated. I'm not going to do grading or anything, just to say that they're,
They're real.
Legit, they're real. And hopefully I have several cards that I'm hoping to sell for somewhere between $500 to $700 per card. I'm hoping to have those back in time for Christmas. If anyone needs it, I got the Eddie Guerrero signed. I got some Mr. Perfect, some Big Boss Man, Macho Man Randy Savage, Miss Elizabeth, Hulk Hogan. I did pretty well. I was sending it over to you and Painter. And then it was to the point of afterwards, Painter's like, well, what's the damage? What do you got? He was buying stuff too. That's the kind of the fun thing. So we have our friend group, but then we have me, Adam, and Painter have our sub.
Our exclusive.
We're going to talk about cards because we don't think everyone else wants to see our stuff. Showing each other what we're buying, our screenshots, what we're sending, what we're seeing, deals we're getting. That's been really fun and exciting.
Just like the podcast. Like I said, we give it to everybody. We give it to our little friend group, the text message, but then there's the sub-text message where we get down and dirty.
And if you want to be in that, text me up too. Contact me. We'll put you in there to see what you're getting, what we're getting.
It's all learning there. So
what do you go all in? You said you went all in as well. Where are you at?
I went all in. Again, like I said, we've both had to change the way we source. Like this is a year ago, this show was completely different. And I did. We'd go to the thrift stores, we'd go to our local, DI, Goodwill, different places, and some, what's the one?
NPS.
Yes. And all these large warehouse stores that have goods that fell off of a wrecked truck, and all these different things. We'd go in, we'd find stuff, we buy it, we sell it, and it was fun because it was the thrill of the hunt. You'd go find something for $3, $5, $10, $15 and hope to, triple, quadruple your money, And we're not talking a ton of dollars, but it was always something to do. But then you always get to the point where it's your death pile and it's not that fun to list, and it's always funner to buy.
Oh yeah.
It's fun to buy.
Unless you're Pelican, apparently he loves listing.
He loves
So
listening.
there's people out there that are listers.
Yes. So that's kind of where we were at, and as it was a year ago. It was at the Onion Days festival here, our local, once a year festival. That we found a card guy that was selling stuff, and I said, Derek, this is sweet. Came over, looked at it, and that's kind of the point when we really started getting hot and heavy, and month after month after month. So I went all in after what I was doing with this Luca cards. Like, I still kind of in shock and awe, which I am going to share something. Somebody offered me $750 for one card, and I pulled the Mike Painter, and I said no.
It's all right.
I didn't, he's the big guy. He knows what he's doing, and I figured, I asked everybody. They said turn it down. I turned it down.
I turned it down too.
Since then the value has gone down, but it's not a fast nickel. It's a
Slow
down. I'm waiting a little bit, so we'll see what happens with that. But I saw Donovan Mitchell. He was playing. Like I said, he's our local guy. And yes, I get it. It's funny. They talk about Utah. Nobody cares about Utah unless you're in Utah, which I believe.
Yeah.
I don't think he's here for the long run.
Same with Ohio.
Exactly.
Take that, Ohio. Or no, South Dakota. No one cares about. No one gives two craps about Alaska or South Dakota. Unless you're listening, and thank you.
And if you are, thank
Finally.
you.
We got more downloads in Russia than South Dakota people. I don't know how that's possible.
We got more downloads in Morocco than South Dakota. Now you got me off.
Sorry. So Donovan Mitchell, you don't think he's here for the long
I
haul?
don't think he's here for the long run. I think he's going to New York, LA, and in which, again, all it does is increase the value. He went off last Sunday and, did really, really well. And I says, you know what? I can still get these cards so stinking cheap. I'm getting them for, $10, $12, $15, some were, $30. And I just bought them up. And I bought a lot of them. I spent a mortgage on them. And
then you still have to pay to get them graded.
I got to pay to get them graded, but last night, like I says, I'm getting committed, and my wife is now about it. You see these card sales go in, same thing, you show them the comps. I brought home the stack, because when you told us about your being all in, you showed us the shopping cart. My wife was all on board, we got ready, and that's why I asked her, did you go to this Walmart, did you go to this one? Because we made the trek. So we went to the Payson one, we found some football cards, which again, right now, they're not as hot. I'm guessing, this is my guess, this is my prediction, that it's gonna get hot. As soon as football season comes back in, those cards are gonna get hot. So we bought several packs of, the Prestige and then of the Donruss Elite, and we opened them. It was our golden ticket. So my wife was really excited about it. We did some on Saturday. We did some last night, and that's when I'm like, all right, this is probably a good time to show her all the cards in, to let her know that I went all in,
I got some things to show you here.
I know you're looking for these cards. We're looking at, let me show you what I bought. She didn't even ask. She says, wow, that's awesome. Let's get them graded. So,
Well, that's cool, and that's always good when you can have a spouse on board that not only believes, but is helping out there. So hopefully it turns into money. With the Luca, I think you're on the right path. I'm thinking the Christmas Day or that time, they start again, people are going to have their Christmas money.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, grandparents are going to feel guilty.
Yes,
they
they
can't
are.
take him to the Mavs game, but that's their guy. He has a good game. On the opener or whatever, you're back up to your 1,000, 1,200, wherever you're at. So
I think so too. So I'm really excited. So we're both all in on this. Again, just kind of check. I hope that you've at least dipped your toe in it. You've attempted a few things. Did a little retail arbitrage.
Well, Adam, you called something. Now let's. I know we're about there, but last week you said not only sports memorabilia, but if you're into movies, you're into these other things, collectibles. There was a Top Gun mask from Tom Cruise
That's right.
that I put on the Facebook page, sold for a crazy amount.
$319,000.
That somebody had. It was movie prop, memorabilia. So it's not just, I know we talk sports cards because we are limited to what we can buy right now and what's going on. Also, it's hot and it's what we're selling. However, it's the same thing, diversify, right? I'm not all into wrestling cards. I got some basketball. I got some different things. I got other things selling. Adam's not all into just the Utah Jazz. He's got several teams, several players, several leagues.
Football, yeah.
So diversify. Don't put all your eggs into one basket and one Achilles heel, and you're done.
And find out. Like I said, find out, do your education stuff, because
If you're into stand-up comedy, if you're into movies, if you're into movie poster, there's just so many places to go.
there's a lot of ways to make money, and people have money, and they're all shopping online right now. That's the place to get it.
and it's not stopping anytime soon.
It is not. So we're going to stop right now and get a halfway through the game break.
Adam, that gobbledygooker's out. You can feel it in the air.
It's getting a little chilly. It's almost sweater weather.
It's fall time, and that means it's time to get listed for the holidays.
But I got such a big death pile, and you know I hate listening.
Well, you're going to have parties. You're going to have a lot to do. You need to kill that death pile because you need that holiday cash, that Christmas cash to buy those
If
gifts.
there was only somebody that could help me out to do it faster.
Man, we got a friend. We're going to hook you up. Cellhound, Adam.
What does Cellhound do?
Well, they're going to be your digital virtual assistants. They're going to list all that stuff for you. You send them the pictures. They do your eBay listings.
But how much? It's going to cost me a lot of money, right?
Man, the first 3 are going to be free. After that, it's so cheap that you'll think that Jimmy Cheapy Pants himself's doing it for you.
And what do I got to do to get into that on that?
Man, go over to Cellhound, try the app, do the free listings, and then put in our code, DeathPiles, all capital letters, DeathPiles25. They'll give you 25% off whatever rate you decide to go
I
with.
mean, you got to know somebody over there because that's a good deal.
Now, we might know the CEO.
And, well, I heard you may get some good words with her, and we really appreciate it because we know that her product is going to help you because Granny always said,
You can't sell goods out of an empty wagon, and Cellhound is going to fill that wagon for you. Well, Adam, we're back. Another successful break, Death Piles and Taxes. You enjoying yourself?
I really enjoy myself going through. Got a couple, the good hot sports card investments. Some cards they're buying, so I just bought some cards. Doing some investing over the break.
Spending that money?
Yes.
Well, the other day, my dad asked me, how's Watty doing?
Yes.
And whenever Denny asks something, we deliver. So special guest to the show, prequel coming down for our 100th episode, is good friend of the program, Ben Watson, Seattle's own. Watty, how you doing, buddy?
I'm hanging in there.
Well, thanks for coming in, first off.
Yeah.
How's life in Seattle right now?
Well, I wouldn't know. I'm just inside my apartment. I've been in my apartment since about March 11th. So I take out the trash. That helps. And I kind of go for a little walk. But I don't really know how Seattle's doing because I'm just in my apartment.
You're in your own little bubble.
Yep, in my own little bubble.
Well, do I need a squash? Now, I know you and Adam had some sort of, I don't know if there was a beef, if we had something going, or are you guys good to be in the same Skype call together, or do I need
I think we're good. I think that got squashed when the Utes beat the Huskies.
Hey, if I got to pay a thing of M&Ms for that to happen every year, I'll send you a dozen bags of M&Ms every year. Unfortunately, I don't think there's going to be any college football for this part of the country, but, we got to do what we can do.
Yeah.
I know you gave Adam a great list of things to go visit the city with. I don't know they took advantage of that list.
Well, how about that? I stayed up all night one night, super late. A very thoughtful, curated list of things that don't even probably exist anymore. I think I told you about the Cinerama, which is like this really cool old movie theater. There's only one or two left in the country.
We happened past it.
Well, it's gone now.
Well, I know. We went by it. We saw it. We've been there. We done.
Okay,
so
good.
We're all friends.
We're all good to go.
Okay, good.
Bonnie,
Yeah.
how many episodes have you listened to of the Death Piles and Taxes show?
What episode are we on?
Well, where are we at?
97 today.
We're 97.
I've heard every episode.
See?
I've listened to every episode. I'm the Chris Felica of the Death Piles and Taxes podcast. You know who that is?
Adam, do you know who Chris Felica is?
I do not know who Chris. You're gonna have to enlighten me.
That'd be the Bear. You know the Bear from College Game Day?
Oh yeah. Okay. See, I didn't know his real name.
Yeah, no, I'm
on how long the episodes are going to last, or
I'm the historian. I've heard every episode. I've heard all the stories. I heard the episode where Adam pretended he didn't know who Ricky Gervais was, and then a couple weeks later said that he has an office plaque hanging on his wall or something. I heard that. I've heard the episodes of Adam saying he was scared of was it Lion Witch in the Wardrobe or some kids kind of fantasy.
Willow. It was Willow.
Some PG kids fantasy movies. No, I've heard them all. I've heard every episode. What happened was Derek sent me a text message in probably in early March or maybe late February. When did this start?
We started in January, February of 2019.
Okay, yeah. So he sent me a text and he said, "Hey, I started a podcast with my friend talking about eBay and taxes and such." And he said, "I'd love for you to listen to it." So he sent me a link, and it was on about the 10th episode. So I just said, "Well, I'll just start at the beginning," and I just powered through the 10, got live, and I haven't turned back.
So let's be honest. I mean, I've got some friends, but if a friend put out a podcast and it sucked, I wouldn't listen to 97 episodes of it. Like, you got to at least like it, right?
That's true. Oh, yeah. I mean, so I've been listening to podcasts as long as, since 2006 or something. I just listen to probably 5 or 6 a day. And, some you're in for the long haul. Some you're, kind of in it until they quit, and then some you kind of ditch and leave off early. But I get excited when I see it pop up in the old feed. I get excited, and I will say, okay, so usually you say the nice thing at the end, you button up everything at the end, but I'm afraid I'll forget the nice thing, and then I'll just be snarky the whole time, and I'll forget. I'll just say the nice thing now. Whenever I listen to the episode, I get inspired. I get inspired to want to do something, or I get kind of the juices kind of thinking a little bit, which is different than some other kind of podcast. You listen to be entertained, or you listen to, be informed or something. But I do find every week when I listen, I get a little bit excited about something. I'll end up telling my wife, "Oh, you know what they said on the podcast was, you could sell this or do this, or did you know about this?" And I kind of like that. The bad thing of that is I also want to buy stuff. So whenever you guys are talking about buying cards or something or buying stuff, I'm always like, "Oh, I want to go out and buy something." Or I want to buy, So I've sold a lot on eBay in the last 2 years, but I've also bought a lot.
So what are some of the bigger purchases? What are some of the bigger purchases you've made on eBay? And what are some of your bigger sales or things you've tried selling or something along those lines?
Eric, that's a really personal question.
Oh, I mean, it's a family show. It's just me and Adam here.
You are sporting the Mariners hat. We can
if I need to put an explicit on here, I can do it.
Hey, by the way, before we get started, let me just go back to something I was saying. I'll get to that, Derek, but let me just say something quick.
You fit in perfectly. This is how the show goes.
Oh, okay, good.
You know that.
What I was going to say, what was I going to say? Oh, when you listen to so many podcasts, you kind of feel like you have a relationship with the people, I've actually met Adam once, and I've been on text threads and stuff with him, but you hear him in your head for 2 years, you kind of feel like you know the person, and you share a lot, and of course I know Derek.
You sound like my wife. It took her 5 years before she really felt that way, so.
There you go, yeah, some of us are still working on that. But with Derek, it's like I'm checking in with my friend every week, and I get to hear him talk, and everything is kind of nice. There are a lot of people who I listen to their podcasts, and I feel like, oh, if we met on the street, I could get right into a conversation with you, but it's all one way. So this is a little 2 ways because I know him, so it's kind of fun, and now, of course, I'm on the podcast. But the one thing I wanted to participate in is what's going on with the Do 30.
Oh, see,
what's going on with the Do
44.
Maybe Adam can have one of his little ice cream cones from the
the mini cones. I'm sporting water. I had a little health scare again, and I decided I better try and take a little better care of myself. So
when people try and quit smoking,
what'd you say?
Adam's like that with Do. He'll quit for 6 months, then he'll go back on really hard and heavy, and then he'll just try to cold turkey it.
Yeah, well.
I don't think you had the opportunity to taste the other day, though. I know we're derailing a little bit, but when the Do from Taco Bell.
You know what I had? I had the Diet Baja Blast. I couldn't believe it.
That's like an anomaly.
Now, I have to tell you, up here, outside of certain areas, there's not a lot of soda options. And if you wanted a Diet Dew, the only option you're getting is Diet Dew up here, which is why you were so kind to give me the Diet Code Red when I was down there. And Utah's the land of plenty of sodas.
We don't have alcohol here, so we You supplement it with something else.
Wait till people find out about those. What are those things called that now everyone's super into, and they're like
They're
Drive-
called Sippins, Fizzits,
Yeah.
Spins. Like it's a soda bar. It's a soda drive-through bar.
You guys have the coffee ones up there. We have soda pop ones down here.
Exactly. Yeah. I would love for someone to be like doing a road trip and they're passing through Utah on their way to Denver or something. They're like, oh, we need to get a coffee, and they pull into the soda.
So
Sippin'.
delicious, and they're like, well, we don't have coffee, but you can have 20 kinds of dew.
Yeah, and a cookie with pink frosting and sprinkles. But anyway, I just wanted to share the Dew 30 with you guys. So that's why I got it.
You're envying me. You even got it in a nice cold glass with some ice. Like that's the best kind right there.
Nice little ice, yeah. But anyway, Derek, sorry.
And he's a diehard. So let's get into the eBay stuff. The people are like, enough of being nice to us.
Sorry.
Hit us with some things that you want to sell. You have been selling. If you had space, maybe you would. Pros, cons, everything.
Inspire us.
Okay, well, can I tell you my eBay story? Or like
Sure.
my eBay journey?
This is a podcast.
This is what we do. This is why you're here.
So I'm listening to the podcast, never have thought about selling anything on eBay. I've maybe bought something once or twice on eBay. My wife had an account she had sold something a long time ago, but it just wasn't something that I even thought about. And I listen to the podcast, I get a little excited, a little interested in it. And, but I'm thinking that you have to, go out hunting like you guys do. And I just didn't think that I had the time for that. And then we went on a trip with our family to go see some baseball games. And we went to a Cardinals game, opening weekend, St. Louis Cardinals. And we were there for 2 games, and they had a bunch of giveaways. And first day was a Cardinals windbreaker. And so we ended up with like 8 of these windbreakers that we all got for free, and none of us are Cardinals fans. And we definitely didn't need 8 of them. And so all my family's saying, what are we going to do with these? Should we just, leave them at the hotel? Do we just, try and throw them away, or we don't want to pack them home? And I said, well, my friend, I've been listening to this podcast about selling on eBay. Why don't I just try? And also the next day was these bobblehead night where they had these mystery bobbleheads they were giving away. We ended up with 8 of those. So when I got home, listed them on eBay, within a day or something of being home, and they all sold almost instantly. And I was just so shocked, and I kind of kicked myself. I just sold them for $20 a piece because it looked like that's what they were doing, and I sold every single one of them. And I couldn't believe just how fast it happened. And I know that that's not always the case, but like for me it was. For me, it was the first thing I posted I sold, and so that got me really excited. So then I kind of, we go to a lot of baseball games and we get a lot of giveaways, and there's like a lot of us that go, so we get so many of them, and maybe someone wants to keep one of them, so we would just sell the rest. And it was a quick way to make some money that's right off the bat.
So you just did it. You just tried it.
Just did it, and we sold it. And so then you kind of started getting excited. So you start looking around. So we started looking around. Well, what else do we have that we could sell? And at that point, you all were talking about, everyone's got stuff in their house that they can sell, and so we went through a lot of the kids' toys that they didn't play with, and my wife Mandy's got a pretty good eye for the toys that there's like toys that parents want that kids don't really want. Like wooden toys or something that like the parents think look really cool on Instagram, but the kids don't want to play with. They want to play with just like the plastic thing. But you're like, but I bought this for $40 at a farmer's market. So we had a lot of that stuff that we were given that our kids just never played with. It's like a Montessori toy or something.
Yeah.
And my wife threw it up on eBay, and it just went instantly. And then she started, it started being kind of a hassle to pack a lot of it because some of it was kind of big. So she just started throwing it on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know, like in Seattle, Seattle's broken down into different neighborhoods. So you can have these Facebook Marketplace just for your neighborhood. I'm sure everywhere else does that too, but like just for your neighborhood. And so we were able to just throw on there these toys, and they were going in a day or two. And it was a good way for us to clear out stuff that we had, get rid of things that the kids just weren't playing with that maybe we liked, but they're not playing with. And then people started asking us, hey, do you also have this, or do you have that? And we'd look around like, yeah, do you want it too? And we'd add that on there. And so we started selling a lot, and right out of the gate, we were pretty successful. So then we started thinking, okay, well, Derek's big into like buying the specialty foods or specialty candies and stuff like that.
I remember this.
Yeah, so we bought the the M&Ms, and we bought some like hot Cheetos that were bones, and again they all sold, and it was just the strangest thing. And I would think, really, people are buying this, and so I have to credit my wife. She'd see something, she'd be like, this looks weird, let's try it. And the one thing that we really got
night too.
Anyway, the one thing that that we got that my wife was really like in on early was there were these snowmen that were hot chocolate snowmen at Trader Joe's, and you'd put them in a mug and then pour hot milk over them and they'd melt into the hot chocolate. Kind of a dumb thing, but those things sold. We bought them for $3. They sold for $20, and we sold probably 15 of them.
Yeah, that Trader Joe stuff. We talked about a while ago. There's somebody having special Trader Joe spices, and they sold like almost $50,000 worth of spices from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, I don't get it, man.
Which is about fall season at Trader Joe's, and a lot of people are locked in, so probably a good time to get over and clear those shelves.
Also, Halloween coming up, and anything pumpkin spice. Like it says, kind of getting into it. Like I said, this is our 100th episode. Special guest Ben Watson here. He's
97. We're building up.
Okay, you're right.
Don't give him that big of an ego.
We're preparing for that. He's listened to our episodes. He's been buying. He's been selling. He's trying to get his kind of recap on that. He's getting into a couple things that he's kind of been playing with. So
do you have anything that you regret buying, or you tried out and thought this is a home run, and it's still sitting in the pantry or wherever?
Yeah, first off, we're in a 2-bedroom apartment. It's pretty small, and everything that we own is in our apartment, right? We don't have like a storage unit or a garage where we can store stuff. There are a few things that we have at my in-laws' house, but like other than that, everything that we have is in here. So we had to be kind of selective with what we were bringing in. So it was pretty motivating when we were just getting rid of stuff. It was like, oh look, we now have space, we can get rid of stuff. But then we went on this bender where we bought a bunch of stuff and a bunch of like mystery flavor Oreos and all that kind of stuff, and different chocolates and things. And then they just sat in our pantry for a really long time, and they're expired, and they just kind of sit there, and I have to think they don't even taste good anymore. And so when we were doing some cleaning, I was like, we just got to get rid of these, let's just call it a loss. That's not really our thing. Our thing might be, toys or something. Food items might not be our thing. But then they sell. And so we sold 2 packs of Oreos to different people in 2 days in a row. 2 different people in different parts of the country. And so then it's like, gosh, well, another thing that we sold too also is my kid's super into baseball cards, and he gets these baseball card sticker packs where you can fill up this booklet with stickers, and we buy him a box of them, but he ends up with so many doubles, and we end up getting rid of them. But then my wife cataloged them and sold them, and we just sold like singles for $25, for totally single cards that would have just been trash.
I don't know if you've been listening to the podcast, but baseball cards are hot right now.
Do you guys talk about cards on the show?
Just a couple times. You haven't heard it yet, but you'll hear it with the new commercial. We're giving away a PSA 10 Michael Jordan, so
nice.
We're hot and heavy in cards.
Yeah, let me tell you, one of the big hits of this year was that I wasn't able to go down and meet Phil at Venue Sports. Oh. That was on our list of things to do.
Next year.
But anyway, I guess the moral of the story is if we have it, it sells. And so it's kind of a nice arrow to have in the quiver to know that if you need to make money, if you need to sell something, you can do it.
So if there's somebody at home, I know we got people that listen that don't list, they just like us. if somebody's listening or just found the podcast, what would you say to somebody to take that leap or to get them selling? And I mean, you're in a 2-bedroom in Seattle, not a lot of space, but you've still been able to find a niche.
And that Diet Dew looks phenomenal. It looks great. It looks wonderful. I wish I could come through the screen and have a little sip.
Adam's going to go get one after the show. Let's not lie to anyone.
So the question is, what advice would I have for people who haven't sold?
Yeah. What would you tell somebody who's never done it?
That it's really not that hard. That I'd say the listing's the hardest part. The listing and kind of just figuring out the shipping. There's a couple growing pains. But if it's something that you're interested in, and if it's something that if you need to make money, or if you want to make money, it's just sitting right there waiting for you. And you think about these like antique shops and stuff that are super cool, and people like to go antiquing and go kind of drive off somewhere and like walk through a place, and maybe you pick up something, maybe you don't. But like, I'm not going to be able to go to that antique shop on the East Coast or something because I'm sitting here in Seattle. But I could go online. You just have so many customers. I mean, the amount of people that watch the items that I have, and these are just dumb items like, random cookies and stuff. People from all over the country, and probably the world, but I know at least all over the country, are coming into your store that wouldn't otherwise be coming into your store. So
more eyeballs. Again, it goes back to, episode number 1, talking about Derek's Angus MacGyver jacket that he had. If it were on, Main Street in Payson, Utah, nobody would see it, but some guy in, Germany spends $400 on it. So that's a great point. Like I said, you get more eyeballs, you get more sales.
So going forward next year, besides coming and visiting Phil whenever you get down here, and he'll love to see you, knowing that you're from Seattle, just make his day. Where do you want to go with online selling or whatever you're doing? Do you have any goals? You saving up to go to Disneyland like Adam? You just trying to clear house? What's kind of your next step in the journey? As soon as you come off lockdown, you get to go to thrift stores, whatever, again in this magic world. What's the Watty family going to do?
Well, so we live pretty close to a lot of different thrift stores, and they're pretty stocked. Like right now, you have to go super early if you even want to donate something because the donation centers fill up really quickly. So we could just hit up the Goodwill, pretty regularly and looking for things. But I think I think our goal personally is to still find ways to use it as a motivation to declutter. I have a lot of books, I have a lot of movies, I have a lot of records, I have a lot of knickknacks and things that I like, but I don't need, or it's taking up a lot of space, and the kids are starting to grow up. It's like, kids are getting bigger and bigger, and the apartment's staying the same size, And so I always feel better about selling it to somebody because A, it means it was something that they wanted, and then B, I got money for it. But I have a hard time. I have a hard time getting rid of things. It's just kind of I'm a collector. I like to have my stuff, but I'm also a realist and know that I don't have the space for it. So it feels good to know if I'm offloading it to somebody who A, would want it, and B, is going to pay for it. So I don't know that we have, I'm still trying to get through the day by day, as far as we'd love to go to Disneyland. We'd love to go to see baseball games and all that kind of stuff. But I think our goal for how we're going to approach it is we're just approaching it as a way to kind of declutter by offloading some of the stuff to people who want it.
That sounds awesome. Like it says, Watty, appreciate your knowledge. We're gonna wrap up here real quick. Like it says, been a big fan of the show. Listened to all 97, soon to be 100 episodes.
Special guest. Thanks for taking the time and coming in. I know you're busy up there.
Can I tell you
a playoff game to get to?
Can I tell you two more things?
Two more things. Okay.
Really fast. One thing is you sound very weird not on 2 times speed. I listen to every one of your podcasts at 2 times speed. It's just going so fast, and I'm just in the current. And the second thing is I did bring a little gift for you guys today to commemorate your show and all the hard work you've done. When this episode airs, you will now have a download from Alaska.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So
That would
I
just
have-
be South Dakota.
I don't know anyone in South Dakota, but I know someone I have a contact in Alaska. They will download the episode, so it'll be one step closer.
God bless you, Watty.
Well, like it says, you were going with the two things in.
I thought you just wanted to end it. Yeah, I thought.
Oh, that.
We don't let everybody do it, Watty, but maybe why don't you roll with it? What are
All
those
right.
two things in life?
Death piles and taxes.
Woo.
Yeah.